Wake up, stupid!
You are now tuned in to the Mindless Morning Show. Here are your hosts, Nick and Josh.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mindless Morning Show. Today we're going to be talking about our history of our jobs that we like, jobs that we didn't like, jobs that don't exist that should exist, and pretty much just go from there. Job related today. But we are really excited, and we want to start out with our shout outs for this week. Our first one is for Eloise. We have a new Patreon, and we're really excited. And apparently, I did such a good job at conveying her story that she's decided to give us some money to listen to it. So it's really cool. So thank you so much for that. It means more than you know. Really, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really awesome to be supported by you guys. I mean, we're doing this for you guys, the listeners.
And us.
We want to interact with you. Yeah, and us. Well, mainly Nick. He likes to talk more so.
Yeah. Shut up. Let me talk more. Let me talk more. Shut up. No.
Okay, go ahead.
You go. You go.
All right. But yeah, big thank you again to Eloise. And the next shout out that we have is to a good buddy of mine, David Millan. He is a husband, a father of 3 beautiful kids. He is also a pro wrestling manager. He's a promoter and a great entertainer all around. Like somebody who can definitely hold out. He has a much better podcast than us, probably.
Hey, shut up with that talk. Blasphemy. Doesn't he want to be a guest on here at some point?
He should be.
Right?
I think he should.
He will.
But no, I know he has a busy schedule, so hopefully we'll see. But yeah, check out his podcast on Spotify. It's Doing the Job with David Millan. And it's his overtime channel where he has guests on every week. He talks about a wide range of topics. Got a lot of really funny friends on there that he gets on the show with some particularly hilarious content. Definitely give him a follow and be sure to check him out on his wrestling radio show on 96.9 The Game every Thursday nights on iHeart. That's
cool. So he has like he's like a podcast and he has like a radio show podcast type thing, right? Like does he have 2?
Yeah, because he does a lot of like wrestling talks and whatnot. So I mean, I'm not too big on wrestling. I don't know too much about that realm anymore. But
isn't there like a lot of hair pulling in wrestling?
Maybe. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
That does make things a little bit better.
You see like these giant like Hulk-like wrestlers that have like wads of hair in their hands. Like what?
Yeah.
Just like ripped out that dude's hair. All right,
that'd be insane.
And also a shout out to everybody that is listening because it's really exciting that we get to do this and you like to listen and it means a lot. Like it really does. Like I love doing this. And so having people listening to our nonsense makes it even better. So that being said, I want to go into our noteworthies for the week. And if you guys are new to the show, in between shows, whatever happens during our week that seems like it's something to share or talk about, we're going to do that at the beginning of the show before we get into the real bulk of what the episode is about. So these aren't really going to be job related because the show is about jobs. So the noteworthies are going to be kind of all the way. So I will start. And it's not like one segment here that's like, I'm going to talk about this, but it's something that's been happening since I have kids. You know, I've got an almost 9-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I got to say something that's kind of like a pet peeve. Dude, I got to mention my frustration with toddler playtime etiquette. They don't have any of it. And what I mean by that is lately we've been doing a lot of sword fighting. Like, not with real swords, because I'm not horrible, but, you know, plastic swords and stuff like that, playing pirates or whatever. And they never die. Never. I always am the one that has to die when we sword fight. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. Like we're fighting and I'm hitting that. Like I'm not hitting them hard, but I'm getting you like, I got you. No, you didn't. Like, no, I did. No, you didn't. And then and then I have to fall and be the one that falls and like dies. And you know what? I'm old. My knees hurt and I got to get up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And I just got to say it, man. This week was a very sword fight heavy week. My son Jude, the 2-year-old, that's all he wants. I come home from work and I work a manual labor job. And he's like, sword fight. I'm like, okay, because, you know, I want to play with him because I don't get to see him during the day. But me playing with him also means you're going to be getting up and down a lot. So I just wish that every now and then they could be the one that falls and not me.
Wait. You're supposed to say the crying segment till the end, all right?
There can be more than one, Josh.
Get it together. No, man, that sounds like a good time, though. Like, you should, I don't know.
It is fun.
Doesn't that make it, fun. Like, I'm sure that his face lights up every time you pretend die.
All 2,000 times, yes, in one day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I got you! Yeah, I know. And then, and I did like the fake sword in the armpit gag. Like, you know, like I did that. And then every single time he like attacked me, it was with like a stab because he wanted me to like maneuver my arm to like get in it so he could, you know, pretend that the sword is like through my arm. Like, ugh. So we did that a lot. It's so funny. So.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, no, I can't wait for those types of times. Right now, she's still just kind of like, all right, just feed me, leave me alone. Let me do this. Let me do that.
Has she broken anything yet?
So she had dropped one of my PlayStation controllers over like the couch, and nobody told me about it. It was like a few days later, I go and grab it, and I feel like the edges of it are like popped out on the side of the handles of the controller, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I go to my wife, and I was like, did you drop my controller? And she's like, no, Mila did. And I was like, are you just blaming her because she can't like defend herself, or what's up? And she's like, no, she really did. I didn't think she broke it though, because like, you know, nothing was missing, but like you wouldn't have noticed unless you like fully grabbed the controller.
Right.
It's nothing like broken, just more so damaged. So far she's been pretty good aside from that.
When all else fails, blame the toddler.
Yeah, it does bother a little bit of the gamer in me. I'm pretty uptight with my technology.
Well, and those controllers aren't cheap, man. So it's like,
no, not at all.
Come on.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll throw in before I give thee is I also did find myself sword fighting with Jude with my right arm and playing dolls with Ellie, my 4-year-old girl, with my left arm at the same time. It was fun. It was hard, but it was fun. I got it done. They were both okay with it.
That's some impressive multitasking.
Right. Needless to say, though, I didn't beat Jude in the sword fight because even if I did slash him, he wouldn't fall. So, yeah, I'm over it. Whatever.
So, like, when you were pretend dead, was your left arm still playing with the dolls? Or did the doll die, too?
Yeah, she's all of a sudden like, my doll. I'm like, it's dead, sorry. Like, it died in battle. So that was just a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you parents out there have had the exact same types of things, but it's fun. It's fun. So, Josh, what do you got though? What's your noteworthy for?
Well, this weekend I had gotten some really, really awesome pickled jalapenos, and it's not just jalapenos. It's like carrots, onions, man, a bunch of stuff in there. I'm still trying to like kind of dissect the recipe to figure it out because it's like a secret family recipe. Ooh. Yeah, it's one of my good buddies. So if anybody's in the Orlando area and wants some really good pickled jalapenos, very nice family recipe that was passed down from my buddy's mom to his grandfather, which I maybe assume is his mom's dad. But yeah, so my friend, his mom had named it after the grandfather's nickname, Chucho.
I like that.
Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and like I didn't just say something super offensive. Forgive the gringo.
Oh, come on, Josh! Again with the offensive talk.
I know, forgive the gringo here, but yeah, so
I'm gonna make everybody believe that we have to like cut half of it on the show because it's just terrible and just beyond. Like, wow, we gotta cut everything you just said.
I'm gonna leave this part in here though to explain why everything is just missing. No.
Oh, nice. Well, hopefully you get more of that soon, because that sounds good. It's really, really spicy, I assume. Yes.
Yes, but I mean, I like it. It's like the perfect amount of kick, and it has ridiculously good flavor for the amount of spice. But supposedly, if I leave it in the jars in the fridge for like a week or two, they'll start to get like sweeter. So I got like a jar on backup, waiting to get sweet.
Ooh, backup jar. I really wish I liked spicy food, but I can't do it. I just don't want food to hurt me. Food is my friend, and it should not hurt me. And when it hurts me, it's like a betrayal. So,
I mean, I get that, but I don't know, man. It's just, there's something about it. I love it.
I will say that I did eat one of those chips that comes in like the box is in the shape of a coffin. So that's a good sign. I ate one of. I didn't eat the whole thing. We like split it in like 5 ways because like 5 of us did it. But that's a whole different spiel for a different episode or a different talking point. So I will leave it at that.
I've heard of those, so I have yet to see them, so I couldn't compare.
Not fun. I think they come with like 3 other chips to like kind of like the more mild one, and then like the hot one, really hot one, and then the coffin.
You just got to go for it.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Like, I'm gonna make stepping stones, just do, and then got to the really bad one.
Yeah, I feel like that makes it worse. I would have just gone like straight for the hottest one and got it done and over with.
Gotta go for it. Okay, well then, my next noteworthy is kind of attached to the whole getting up and getting down and getting up and getting down because you have kids. I actually tweaked my back pretty bad the other day, getting a tool out of my van to fix my daughter Ava's bike. And I was just reaching to get Phillips screwdriver. And as I reached, I kind of turned, and all of a sudden I felt this really sharp pain up my spine, which was just wonderful. And it's like, it hurt so bad. I was like, oh! And I automatically felt like super old. And my wife is like, what happened? I'm like, my back. Oh, my back. Like it was hard to talk. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. That's how I sounded. I don't know if you've ever like pinched a nerve or tweaked your back or whatever, but oh man.
I totally understand. I've had a really crappy back for as long as I can remember. Like, even as a young kid, I'd wake up like not able to get out of bed for like the first 10 minutes.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude, it was terrible.
How old were you for that?
I mean, like maybe 8, 9.
8 or 9?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, as long as I could remember, really, is as long as my back's been hurting.
Oh God, 8-year-old of the back of an 80-year-old.
Yeah, basically.
Dude, that's rough.
I mean, I get it. It sucks, dude. But I mean, even as a kid, like, I could take a lot of pain, like, before my back would, like, actually bother me or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
it would rarely affect me then. Not so much as now, but yeah, dude, I would, like, just get, like, bashed down hills like, from skating and stuff like that.
Kids are so, like, durable because
we're invincible, dude. That's what we think. So that's
like, oh, my back hurts. Not if I don't think about it at all, and I go do something else, like go down a hill with a skateboard. Like, kids will be in the pool, blue-faced, teeth chattering, and you're like, get out of the pool. It's cold. No, I feel fine.
Everything's okay. I'm gonna be fine.
You look like a corpse. Get out of the tub. Like, get out of the bath, or get out of the pool, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
I get it. I mean, now, dude, like, I sneeze wrong. I have like a heart palpitation. Like, I pull the shoulder. My chest is straining and stuff. Like,
it's bad. And I mean, working manual labor jobs, it definitely will do that to you, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Dude, there were days I was totally dead. Like, I would straight up, like, I mean, allegedly call in sick. And just because, like, I couldn't. There was no way. My body was not having it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because we would have, like, a crazy big project or something the the previous day, and I was just wiped.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Especially when you're like expected, because you have no choice but to like get up and do physical labor, and you already feel like crap from the day before. It's really hard, man. Like it's really hard to get going. But you have to. Like, no one else is going to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And I
mean, somebody else will do it, but...
Not in my case. I'm the only one in my van.
I mean, I don't know. You got to think, man. It doesn't matter. Any company, you're replaceable.
No, I'm not, Josh. How dare you?
I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm the best. I'm one of the best plumbers in Texas, dude.
So, I bet.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to say that with confidence.
You're my favorite shit shepherd.
I juggle turds, remember? Come on. Get it right. Get it right. Oh, I actually got 4 today. I juggled 4 instead of 3 today.
Really?
That's
impressive.
The builder was applauding. It was great. It was really great. But obviously there was still a mess to clean up. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's part of the job.
Must have been some girthy ones, though.
Oh, dude.
Somebody had their fiber.
Well, it was me. They were mine. No. What kind of work?
I don't know if
doing?
that makes it worse. I guess I don't know.
Holy crap! Okay, so I have another noteworthy. It's pretty dumb, but it did get me thinking. I was at a job a few days ago, and I was rolling up my extension cord. I was outside walking near the house, rolling it up. And I looked down and I saw a really huge, like, orange mushroom. Like, it was like a 4-inch diameter plume on that thing. It was huge. It was the only one.
Oh, yeah. Are we heading into a tripping story?
Yeah, I just ate whatever mushroom I came across. But it's funny that you brought that up, because I actually thought about it when I saw that mushroom. I don't even know what psychedelic mushrooms look like. Like, does that make me a loser or something? Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
No. I mean, I only know what, like, one kind looks like. There's many kinds. So, I mean, I also don't, like, by any means am a professional at this. I don't like it.
Well, I saw it and was... And I wasn't even like, I'm going to put this in noteworthy. That's one nice mushroom. It just, as I was thinking about it, I was like, I really don't even know what they look like. So maybe I will bring it up.
I mean, I would have put 2 and 2 together that you're a plumber and that's a mushroom. You probably would have grown to new heights.
I'm going to go back and eat it tomorrow. Well, I guess, yeah. So I'm going to go back and eat it and just see what happens. I'm just going to see what happens. It's like, so from our last show, I'm gonna sever my toes with my steel-toed boots, see, like, and I'm gonna eat a random mushroom that's just, on the ground. It was growing out of the ground, like I could pick it, so it's fresh. At least it's fresh. So there is that. So
yeah.
And then I guess the last thing that I'm gonna mention is I was able to help my daughter Ellie, who is 4 years old. Dude, she can ride her bike without training wheels. And that blew my mind, because I didn't know that was like an average age for that. And apparently it is. Apparently that's average. But I remember being taught how to ride a bike. I remember it. Like, 4-year-olds don't have that type of memory. So what are your memories?
So I actually remember, I had the little training wheels. I mean, with the training wheels, it was pretty easy. I never seemed to like have any kind of issues with that. When it came to like the training wheels coming off, I mean, it was easy. I didn't like have too many issues. The only time I like really messed up riding a bike is like I thought I was gonna be really cool shaking the handlebars back and forth really fast.
Yes.
And the bike, the wheel ended up just like totally catching sideways, and I just like went right over and smashed my face right into the road. And
your bike is like, I'm gonna make this guy look stupid.
Oh, dude, it busted me up pretty bad. Like, it was at the time my mom was at her job and my dad was home watching me, and like, I don't know, I didn't want anything but my mom. I was like, just take me to my mom, take me to my mom.
Oh man, your mom is like, what a loser. No.
Yeah, dude, as a kid, I was like totally needing my mom. Under no circumstances would I calm down otherwise. So like, my dad ended up driving me over to the job, which was only like 5 minutes away. It wasn't like a crazy drive, not even 5 minutes maybe. But
nice.
yeah, he brings me in through the office. I'm screaming. The manager gave me some like Wonderworks tickets. He was cool, man. Every time I went there, he would give me some tickets to Wonderworks. Yeah, so that's a pretty fun place to go to. So yeah, it always made my day.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely never like try that stunt on a bike again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
The only thing I guess we would like to add is the fact that there is a new logo, if you've noticed by now. If not, there it is, and I hope you guys like it. We would like your feedback on it.
Yes.
Also, for you listeners out there, like, it's super important for you guys to like share us to your friends, family, if you think we're good. If not,
we'll find you. Don't worry about it. And I mean that in the most threatening way possible. Oh wait, no, non-threatening. Oh, non-threatening. Share us.
But yeah, no, we're definitely hoping to grow. We got big plans for the podcast.
Yes.
And
y'all have no idea, like.
But we could tell you if you become a Patreon, because our Patreons have gotten exclusive looks.
That's true.
Ooh. But yeah, with big plans and nothing but love for you guys, we're spreading out. We're spreading our wings. We're on many platforms now. Almost all of them, really. We're on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, Podbean, Deezer, Stitcher, and Listen Notes. So definitely give us a listen anywhere.
That's a lot.
It is. It's so much. I can't believe we did it. I can't believe those platforms wanted us.
Yeah, they have no idea. They're gonna regret it. It's fine. So I wanted to get into, actually got some feedback about our debate. And if you don't know or you don't remember, we kind of had a little bit of a debate about the saying, everything happens for a reason, which I think is bullshit. And Josh was like, no, it makes sense. And so we're not going to debate about it now. But obviously, it didn't change anything. But it happened. And we want to play an audio segment real quick from a friend of ours who had this to say about it.
Okay, so I finished the podcast last night, and I want to weigh in on the Josh-Nick conflict. I acknowledge Josh has the upper hand with the sheer logistical element he stated. However, I must point out that if it only works retroactively, then you cannot say that every future thing is happening for a reason. On the more philosophical point of view, I kind of agree with both of them. I'm not a believer in anything supernatural, and I think that saying that everything happens for a reason suggests some sort of supernatural control or balance to the human experience. That being said, I think that it is imperative that we find the good in everything. In Nick's horrifying example of losing a child, I do not believe that there is a positive reason that happens, but a person can make positive change in themselves or the world as a result of that experience. A hypothetical example would be a person who loses a child to an illness who then commits their life to fighting that illness for the betterment of other children. What we do as a result of those terrible things is what gives those things reason.
And thank you for that, because it's really cool that we get snippets in there for audio and stuff. And I'll say, I like the fact that he's like, I agree with both of you. So, cheers.
Well, I mean, he clearly agreed to both of mine and just said, like, you kind of have to deal with it. So
don't try to take this from me.
Just saying.
Don't you dare. He agrees.
But can you believe that? How cool is that? A listener getting to like give us our feedback, and you listeners are getting to listen to another listener.
Whoa.
Like listenception.
Whoa. we can do that. If you want to send us an audio clip, we'll play it. Unless it's just like something absolutely ridiculous. We might play it. I don't know.
Yeah, we still might.
So we did get a question, and the question that we got that we'll answer is, how do you unwind with busy schedule? And it's such a good question. Like, I didn't even think about this with our intro, which is, I feel like that should have been like, how do we unwind? But how I unwind, because I have like a 55-hour-a-week job. We're working on a video game together, and I've got 3 kids and my wife and stuff like that. So how I unwind is I've got about 2 hours of like, quote, me time after the kids go to sleep. And I cherish that time very much. And I use that time for playing video games, or usually I actually use that time for working on Guildmaster. But lately I've been a little bit lazy. But I'm going to stop being lazy, I promise. So
He's been super lazy.
I've been really lazy this week. I won't be though. I'll sit there and I'm like, all right, time to sit back on the couch. And I'm like, I should really probably work on Guildmaster. But the couch is so comfy. Oh, and there's beer in the fridge. I'll go get a beer. And then that's kind of it, man. Like, and I'm going to go ahead and just blame my manual labor job because, I mean, I'm tired at the end of the day. But I am going to get back into it. But that's how I unwind. I unwind by literally doing nothing when I get home. Like, if I can, I hang out with the kids, we eat, we do our thing, get them ready for bed. And when they go to bed, because they have like pretty strict schedules. So when they go to bed, I'm done. And I use that time to unwind. So, Josh, what about you?
I don't really know what unwinding is. I don't. I guess the only time I really unwind is when I have a vacation, like out of Florida. Yeah. I prefer to stay busy. It keeps my mind busy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, you're doing a lot, dude, because we'll talk throughout the day when I'm working, and you're like, I'm doing this and this and this and this. I'm like, God dang, like, you're always doing something.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just helps me. It helps my day go by. But, I can definitely be a lazy person too, so...
You sound like one. You sound like you don't do crap.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I could definitely be lazy. I just with everything that I juggle normally, it's most my wind down time. Like, cause my daughter right now, she's really chill for like a 1.5-year-old. Like,
yeah,
uber
dude,
chill.
You lucked out. You really lucked out with that.
Yeah, no, for sure, I did. And so for me, it's kind of just one of those things that, I mean, she's hanging with her is kind of like my chill time, really. We just sit on the couch, play with her toys, watch TV.
That's cool, man. Like, that's cool because like you get to do that, and my 2 hitting me in the head with a plastic sword. Fight! Like,
I mean, she's still young. She'll get there, I'm sure.
So dude, she will for sure. The 6-month gap, I'm telling you, it's insane how much like changes in just 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've seen some crazy changes just from like just before she was under a year to like now. It's insane. It's like a whole human evolving. And
yeah, that's such a funny way of thinking it. Like a human evolution, and like almost like Pokemon, like version 1, version 2, 3. Like it's crazy. And then like you can get really sad if you sit there and think about it. But like it's almost like you've lost a person. Like toddler. Like my 8-year-old, she's almost 9. She's obviously not a toddler anymore. So it's like I lost toddler Ava. Like, gone. And it's sad.
No, I mean, I hear it. That's crazy. I mean, I'm dreading. Dude, I'm dreading it. Like, I'm just dreading all of it. I think I forgot the math now, but I think it was gonna be like I'm gonna be 40 something when my daughter's 18, and I'm just.
No. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, dude, I'm not at all excited for that portion of it whatsoever.
Yeah. Now it's your turn to cry, Josh.
Yeah.
The only podcast with a crying segment. Like, oh, come on. That's awesome. So Is there anything else you want to tackle that question of how you unwind?
Whiskey. Whiskey helps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have another question from a listener, and I really like this. It's really cool. Really like it. But it's a parent-related question since we're parents, and it's, what are some of your vices as parents? And that's a really good question. And straight up, I can lose my patience quickly. Like, I mean, if I have a really shit day at work, I can come home from work, and if the kids are like whining because of something, I don't know, they're tired, something broke. And it's not all the time. I mean, I'm not like an asshole, but like sometimes I am, because they'll be like, "Daddy," and I'm just like, "What?" Like, I'm already like on edge, and I don't feel good about it. It's just, that's one of my problems. That's one of my vices as a parent, is I can lose my patience quickly. And my other one is a little bit more innocent, playful, if you will. But I'm not above bribery, straight up. Like, if I want something done and I'm in a certain mood where I'm kind of like, "Hey, do it and you can have popsicle," whatever. Not above that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I second bribery. Me as a parent, I only have the 1.5-year-old right now. So there's not many vices that I need, I suppose.
You're right.
With her, especially, because I mean, she's just so calm. But I mean, I could definitely understand losing patience. Like, there's definitely times that she's just constantly banging on the same thing for, like, I don't know, 5 minutes long, and I just don't understand how she can handle it going on that long.
Oh my God, yes, yeah.
So,
how is this not driving you mad?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, real quick, I've got to interject. We used to have a toy. We don't have it anymore, and you'll know why. Because you pushed a button, and it would say, "Join the Jungle Jam." Okay. But if every time you pushed it, it would repeat. So it'd be like, join the jungle, join Jungle Jam, join the jungle. Oh, dude, no more. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, no, my girl still has
Join the Jungle Jam. I don't know. It was like a fake instrument that had like jungle theme on it, and it was "Join the Jungle Jam."
Yeah, no, my daughter's still got her toys that are just like that. They make all those crazy noises, and they will continually repeat if you press that button. Sometimes I sit there and try to make like some cool beats out of them.
That too. So yeah. So those are our parenting vices, and basically it's patience. I mean, it's really hard to be patient all the time, and I gotta say, like, I don't think my wife listens to these, but if she does, I will say, holy crap, I don't know how you do. I don't know how. Like, literally, I could not. I would have to hire like a nanny to like help me, because 3 kids, 2 of them being like under 5. Whoo, man, couldn't do it. And she does it all day, every day. So that's tough. So I'll just throw that out there, that I appreciate it. And I do tell her all the time, like, I appreciate you so much. I love you very much. I appreciate it. So, yeah. I'm needy. Whatever. Hey, I own it. I'm needy. But like not like my kids, though. Like, she leaves the room. Where are you going? Okay, I've done that jokingly, but
Yeah, sorry, I don't have like any more vices for you.
That's because you're perfect, Josh. You're just perfect.
No, it's not even that. I haven't had to develop any. Mine.
Yeah, that's true.
She's not old enough really to give me too many issues. So.
Ask us again in like a couple of years. I've like your new vice will be like, I've broken so many windows. Oh man, that got really bad. It's like, why the windows?
I go to the axe throwing competitions every week now.
So and I was thinking a little bit about our week, and for those of you that didn't listen to it, you should. It's pretty good. It's an episode, and the topic is traffic and car related things, stories. And there's one thing that I did not get to mention, and I'm just going to do it now because it's hilarious. But I saw a very funny bumper sticker, but it wasn't really a bumper sticker. It was kind of like a prop. It went a little bit further than a bumper sticker. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but the little square shaped sign that says "baby on board," right? Obviously, it's telling other drivers there's a baby in the vehicle. So I don't know. Don't rear end the car. So I saw one.
Extra points.
Oh, that's terrible. I saw one that said baby on board, but it had a baby doll with a nail through it, nailed to a 2x4 wood, a piece of a board. And it said baby on board, BOARD. And it's like, it was a baby nailed to a board hanging from the back of their window.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
like, a great visual pun.
Yeah, like, hey. So, moving on to our jobs, like what the podcast is really about, jobs that we have had. So before we get into like the funny bits about certain jobs, I'm just gonna state what my jobs used to be. The first one is, it's more of a it was like literally like 2 weeks. Like I didn't do it very long at all. But it's worth noting because something really funny came out of my experience there, and that's what we'll get into later. But my mom used to manage convenience stores, and I worked the register for like a couple of weeks. But the gold behind that experience is how my mom and I used to haze the new cashiers that she would hire. So little foreshadowing, a little teaser about something that some stuff that we did. So that's the first one. And I'm kind of going chronological order here. So I was like 16, 17 when that happened. And then I worked for a home decor and gardening center. And the place was called Garden Ridge. So some of you in Texas definitely know what this place is. But basically it's like a warehouse for like party supplies, decor items, house plants, all that type of stuff. And then my job after that, I worked at PetSmart, but I worked in like the pet hotel. So basically wherever a pet would have to stay overnight or whatever. I was the overnight caretaker. It was the easiest job I've ever had, but I've had some really funny instances working that job. And then definitely, if you've been paying any attention to construction, remodel, plumber, and that's where I work now, and I've been doing that for 10 years. Oh, I feel old. Yeah. So,
wow.
Josh, what about you, my friend?
No, I just want to point out the fact that you've been turd juggling for 10 years.
Dude, 10 years, and it's such a shame that I just now started doing 4. Such a shame. But eventually I'll do 5 and 6. Man. And you make pretty good money, man. So.
Yeah. Especially like with those fibrous ones, man.
Yeah, I give one to the homeowner and they throw it up while I'm juggling the other one, and I try and catch it, keep going, and they laugh and applaud. It's a good time. All right, now that we've grossed everybody out, you can talk your job.
Nothing as exciting. Nothing as exciting. As that, really. I've done my first job was Universal for 2 years. That is
exciting, dude. That's cool.
And I mean, I guess until you know what I did.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, we'll get into that, I suppose.
I mean, I'll just state now that all I did was run stupid little carnival games. Like the most boring thing you could actually do, like something you could do at a fair, is what I was doing at like one of the biggest theme parks.
There you go.
Great.
There you go. There you go.
And I worked at Bass Pro Shops for about 2 months. Oh
wow, that's not long at all. It must have been really shitty.
I hated that job. Well, yeah, I'll definitely get into that. But Toys R Us, I worked at, and that was like one of my favorite. That was my favorite job, oddly enough.
Nice. Hey, well, I mean, that actually seems like such a good environment.
Dude, it was. And it wasn't just the fact because, like, I'm surrounded by toys. It was, like, all the people that worked there were, like, super cool people.
Yeah, that is cool.
It was great, man. So, I mean, I worked there for about almost 2 years. And then I ended up moving on to becoming an HVAC tech over with another rat. A big old rat. So
I'll say it, but I won't.
Yeah, and I was with them for 7 miserable years, and I won't say all those years were miserable, I suppose, but the last few were pretty dreadful. But yeah, no, there's plenty of stories out of there. That's for sure.
Hey, that's why we're here. So the people that are listening can do whatever they want to do and listen to our BS. Yeah. So this time, Josh, I want you to start the story.
I guess I'll start with first job being at Universal. So I was 16, super ecstatic to start working, let alone with such a company as my first job. I thought it was pretty cool. Like, granted, like I said, I really didn't do anything that great there, but it was still cool to kind of be a part of it. A job that
desired, like, by people in your age group?
Probably not, dude. Like, honestly, it wasn't, because like when the guy mentioned it sucked. Yeah, it wasn't anything I even applied for. So like when I got called, they had said, "Oh, hey, we got your resume, this, that, and the other. So this isn't really an offer for what you applied for, but we just want to see if you'd be interested in doing this." And I was just like, I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm gonna take whatever job you throw at me. So I mean, I did it, and I mean, it was awesome though. Like I've met some really awesome lifelong friends there.
You're just a glorified carny.
Yeah.
Did anyone there have like an eye patch or? Here I am just like stereotyping carnies being like weirdos with one eye. If there are carnies listening, which there are, I am sorry.
I don't know why. I feel like there was somebody with like an eye patch, maybe.
So I was right.
Yeah, no, we definitely had some weird people working with us. I'm not gonna lie. So it was definitely different, but yeah. So I mean, everything with work related was a new environment for me, and we had an awesome cafeteria. So I'm standing in line, and mind you, this is at Universal. There's tons of people that can walk through. I'm getting my food. I'm doing me. I'm talking to a buddy of mine, not paying attention to anything around me. I turn around, and there is Dracula.
Kind of forget where you're at.
Basically, yeah, well, I mean, even knowing where I was at, like, I just kind of forgot, because, like, there's only one area where Dracula's at, and it was just so funny to me that I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that would freak me out, too. Like, it could have been worse, if you think about it. Like, what? Like, think of the...
Could have made a huge scene.
Well, no,
oh my god.
No, like not only that, but the character that was right there. It could have been like some like I don't know whatever there was at Universal. I'm assuming there had creepier things too. But I mean, Dracula is pretty creepy though. So
yeah, I mean, most of the things they have like those big costumes. They take them off when they're backstage because it's Florida, it's hot. So yeah, this guy, he was just in like makeup and like his like regular costume, and it was enough to like just turn around and kind of freak out, like, yeah, what's going on?
It's awesome.
There was that, but it was fun, man. I mean, so like we got to run a few games that basically you get a microphone and you have to like talk to all the guests walking around, try to get them to come over and play your game.
Oh, that would be so awkward for me.
Dude, honestly, like, I was kind of like, I don't really want to talk, because I'm not much of a talker. Dude, it was the funniest thing to mess with these tourists.
Oh, I bet.
Like, I think one of my favorite ones, I can't believe I didn't get in trouble for. These guys were, like, a whole family was standing in front of the game for, like, a good 5 minutes, looking at the map. I don't know why it took them so long. So, obviously, they're lost, and so... I got on my mic and I was like, hey guys, you guys lost, blah, blah, blah. They look over and they're like, oh no, we're good. And I was like, all right, well then get lost. Because I'm tired of them standing around looking like they need help, because if somebody comes around and
it looks like you're not helping, then you get reamed.
Yeah. Yeah, so
hey, how quick would you get fired if you had the mic and somebody walked by and you said, hey, you dropped something, and they, no, you did, dumbass.
Oh, dude, in a heartbeat.
Okay.
They would have taken like the apron of money and the mic and my ID.
Right in front of everybody too, just like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know why that was like the first thing I thought of. Yeah, give me a mic and that's what I'll do. No, I won't. I don't like confrontation. Yeah. That's like straight up asking to get punched in the face.
Yeah, no, dude. And And that's like, that was the one time that like I came across my first Karen.
Yeah, dude, tell that, and then I'll go into mine.
Yeah, because I had to be on this microphone. There was a game where it's so stupid. It really is. It's the dumbest idea ever. And like these women that come up to play it, like do it to like start a fight. I think basically you come up and you can choose like one of the three options. Either I choose the birthday, your birth month, or your weight.
No,
and there's a scale on that I'm standing in front of.
This is so bad.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Why is that still a thing?
So this is like, and this, yeah, and dude, I tried, like, obviously, like, when a woman like is gonna tell me her weight, I'm just gonna let her take the prize and like do whatever. I'm gonna lowball my answer and whatnot. So
wow.
And I lowballed the answer, and she was actually under my what I
how dare
guessed.
you, Josh?
I don't know where the weight was coming from.
How do you know that? Oh, it's the scale. Duh. Never mind. Forget I'm here.
Right. and so, oh, dude, like, I think I was maybe like 6 pounds off. It wasn't anything drastic.
Oh, that's not a big deal.
Oh no, to her it was, dude. That was yeah. Those 6 pounds were like a month or two of work for her, evidently, and she let me have it. And so
you should have just fallen on your knees and just like cried.
Dude, I let her say what she had to say. She ended up peacing out. I gave her her toy.
No prize for you. You're a bad sport.
I got on my little walkie-talkie. I called my supervisor. I was like, hey, I just need like to use the restroom. And I went there and cried. No, I'm just kidding.
You pulled her neck. Hey.
No. Dude, I just needed to take a break. I was just like, all right, let me go clear my head. Because like that was the first time I like had any kind of experience with that. And I just didn't know really what to do, so I'm just like, all right, yeah, whatever, cool.
Yeah, that dude, straight up, kudos for you for even attempting that job. That would have been like, wait, you want me to do what? No.
I mean, it's kind of like one of those things though, like I don't have a choice. Like they assign you to what game you're gonna be at the day. Like they would switch us out and everything. So like you would come in, you see what you're at.
I always thought the people that did that type of game were actually like kind of good at it.
No. So I'll tell you what, man. I was getting really close to like when they would have you guess their age. I was getting really, really good at that. Like I would only be like 2 to 3 years off every time, and I did get them right at least 6 times.
That means you suck, Josh.
Yeah, no. considering the amount of people that came through, yeah, my statistics still suck. But
well, I mean, it's not like they have you looking. This is a group of 20 people, all 25. Look at them. Like.
No, but dude, I was taking it seriously. Like I was going home and studying how to like better guess people, because dude, I wanted to get them. I wanted to stop giving my prizes away. I wanted to stump them.
I could see you doing that. The amount of work you do on this podcast alone of like studying things and like figuring stuff out, like and that kind of goes into the little tease what we're working on that we can't talk about right now.
Yeah.
But basically I can totally see you going home and all right, I'm going to figure this shit out,
Yeah, dude. And I will tell the listeners, one of the best giveaways to closer determine the age is you need to look at the individual's hands. The keys are in their hands of aging. Wow. I don't know. It's how it is.
Man, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. So how about you, man?
Okay, so the first thing I want to go about talking as far as my experience with job is how my mom and I used to haze the people that she would hire to work for stores. They did not know who I was. They knew that my mom had, some kids or whatever, they knew that, but they didn't know what we looked like or anything like that. So whenever I would go and, my parents were separated. And so I would go and I'd spend time with my mom. It was like a split custody type deal. And on the weekends, I would go over there and I would meet with her, and she's like, hey, and the layout of this particular store was actually really cool. And I'll get into that really quick. But basically there's the convenience store. It was like a specialty convenience store that had like a little kitchen in it and stuff. And then there was a house directly behind it. And it was like all fenced off. And that's where we lived. We lived directly behind this convenience store. Like, I mean, like right behind it. Like, it would be like 10:30 at night, and my mom, she had the keys and the alarm code. So she would just get stuff out of the convenience store and then just pay for it like the next day. So that was really cool. A little memory there. But
that's super cool.
So we lived like right behind this store. So I would go and I would see her, and she's like, hey, hired somebody. They're at the cash register right now. And I'm like, say no more. So I would walk into the convenience store, and they're like, hey, how's it going? And we did this like several times, like, I mean, 6-7 times. And I'd walk in there, and every time I would do, but usually I would walk into the convenience store. I'd go up and I'd get a pack of candy, like Starburst, and then I'd walk over and I'd stand in line, and I'd look up, and it'd be my turn, and I'd just say, you know what? Nope. And I put the Starburst in my pocket, turn around, and walk out the door. And they're like, it's like their first day. And they're like, oh my God, like this kid, like, what, like they had no idea what to do. And I'm sure some of you are probably like, that's like screwed up. That's cruel. But it was funny. So I would do that, or I'd walk in.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, if any of these listeners had the opportunity, they would probably do the same thing.
Dude, it was like, oh my gosh, stealing, but not stealing, because I'm like such a, like, you know, I was always such a goody two-shoes. So when like, hey, the very first time, she's like, hey, do you want to go to the end of the convenience store? We got a new cashier. Do you want to steal some stuff? And I'm like, yes. Like, so bad. Yes.
Yeah, if you can do something bad with like no repercussions, absolutely sign me up.
It was so great. So like I would like take something and like run out the store, and they'd be like, oh my God. I would run out and go around the convenience store into the back door of the house, and my mom and I would just laugh and laugh. And then my mom would go in there, and then she'd be like, what happened? She didn't do this very often. I think she did it only one time, but the cashier was like, this kid, she's like, why didn't you chase him? Like, no. Like, she's like, I don't know. Just like, oh, you should have chased him. Next time, chase him. And then I would walk back into the store, strut in, like, hey. And then my mom would be like, this is my son. And then, oh, it was so fun. Such good times.
That's when that's what you guys really should have done, is like you played off like this super bad kid. And like she didn't introduce you as her son for a while until like
oh, you're talking about the long game.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years and this kid keeps coming in here. Like, good Lord.
That would have been hilarious. Like, why are we not doing anything about security here?
Oh well, whatever. Yeah, that was really fun. So that was some of the stuff that we did, and truly loved it. I kind of wish I could do it again.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wish I had opportunities like that at some point in time. I never did. But if anybody has an opportunity like that for me, let me know. But don't set me up for something real.
Yeah, the cops are like arresting you. He said I could break the window.
Yeah.
No, dude. He said he was going to demo the house for construction. No, man. I'm an idiot. and like, I go up and I'd like ask for a pack of smokes. And I'm clearly like a 15-year-old kid or, you know, whatever. And they're like, okay. And for those of you that don't know what I look like, I don't look that old. I'm 30, but from what people have told me, I don't look it. So
he looks so old. Don't let him fool you.
No, like
see.
So I clearly did not look 18, like not a bit. And obviously they had never bought it. They're like, oh, I need to see your ID. No one else asked for my ID. This place sucks. And then I'd be like, I'll just come steal them later. Like, what? Like, nothing. And then I'd take something else.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was so great. Like, you're allowed to just be an asshole in the store, because eventually you'll come back and then it'll be like, all is forgiven because it's the boss's son.
And you know what, man? That would have been like the perfect setup for you to become like YouTube famous.
Yeah.
Should have done it, man.
Well, but then maybe I wouldn't be here, Josh, and you'd buying all of.
Maybe. I definitely wouldn't have started a podcast on my own. You hear how much I talk.
Yeah.
The listeners hear how much I talk.
Yeah, well, they say that you're soothing. They've been saying that you're soothing.
Thank you.
Which is good, because I seem to have like seem to have more energy. So if you were like me, it might have their so.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little bit too much for them to handle.
Yeah, so this works. This works. So
you are now tuned in to the Mindless Morning Show with soothing voice Josh.
And I'm just screaming in the background. Okay, at least I'm not like that. Like a lot of like YouTubers that, you know, my kids watch. Well, mainly just my 8-year-old. She watches like YouTubers. Dude, all they do is scream. Like, quiet down. And then I find myself being like, turn that down. Like, oh man, I'm old. Like straight up.
Yeah, dude, I remember having a shirt that said, if it's too loud, you're too old.
Yeah. I'm getting old. My back. So, yeah, it does. Thank you, Hank Hill.
Damn it, Bobby.
You sounded like it just really. Damn it, Bobby.
I'll sell propane and propane accessories.
Hey, you got to do your Elmo voice real quick. You got to. Do it.
I don't know, man.
Dude, okay, people wouldn't even think that you do it.
I'm okay with them thinking I don't do it.
Fine, maybe in a different episode. Maybe in the future. Yeah, we shall see.
We'll see if the listeners really want to hear an Elmo voice.
It sounds legit just like it. But since you're going to be lame, how about you tell a story instead?
Yeah, so let's see. I've gone over the Universal. The next one would be Best Pro Shops. Well, I don't really have too many stories out of there, honestly. Much of anything.
Are you trying to pass?
No. Hold on. Yeah, I'll be in a non-chronological order, I suppose.
That's fine, dude.
So all right. Anyway, when I was working at hotels, we would have to do, you know, room service calls and stuff like that. A lot of the times, these are calls that could just be something that is in the database that, okay, hey, this has been like so much time since this has been done. Go and check it out. Like preventative maintenance type things. Oh,
that's cool.
So
makes sense.
We would go and do those calls. And so, you know, a lot of the times people didn't call these things in. So we're at the door and they're like, what do you want? They look at us like total deer in the headlights when they open the door.
Wow. I feel like that's not a good idea.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. But what's funny is it definitely makes for some unsuspecting like visits.
Absolutely.
So there was a time I had the general rule. First off is you can, you know, knock 3 times and announce yourself. And if there's no answer and you've waited a decent amount of time, go ahead and go in.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, basically.
You know the movie I referred to.
Oh, I was thinking Family Guy.
Oh, no, like housekeeping, Tommy Boy.
Oh, yeah, see, right to mind came Consuelo from Family Guy.
Oh, yeah. All right, carry on. My apologies.
So, anyway, yeah, so I did my 3 knocks. I announced myself, you know. I'm loud when I announce myself.
I was about to ask you, how loud do you knock? You bang, bang, bang.
So I would try not to because there was a few times I did.
Intimidating.
Yeah, no, there was a few times I had like parents answer the door like, I have a sleeping kid in here. What the fuck? And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I'm coming in. I don't care. I'm doing maintenance. Like, okay.
Basically developed a gradual 3 knock system. And so yeah, nobody answered and I go in and basically as I'm slowly opening the door, all the lights are off. It's pretty dark, but it's bright outside. Like it's kind of like a motel setup where all the doors are outdoors, or the doors lead to outside rather.
Oh yeah.
So I open the door, the light starts to peer in, and all I see is a giant white, probably 60 to 70 plus year old butt. All right. So this dude was he was
not a care in the world.
I don't think he heard me. I don't know if like maybe he took his hearing aid out for like his pleasurable time with his wife. I don't know. But I was like, oh my God, and like closed the door. And dude, I speed walked away from that room.
Scarred forever.
I was terrified. I've never seen anything like that.
Hey, and it's funny because there was never there was zero like confrontation or talking to this guy. So
Oh, dude, I am so glad I didn't make eye contact with this guy.
But it's funny because somewhere out is like, okay, just, I joke. I say 7 billion people are listening to the show. And if this guy was listening to the show, he would have no idea that was him.
Maybe.
Unless he's like, wait a minute.
This makes sense. That was what that light was.
I thought it was aliens this whole time.
That poor lad looked at my brown eye. Oh, dude. It was bad.
That's a highbrow joke right there, Josh. Love it.
I have come across some very, very questionable things, though. Like, in people's rooms, like, I don't know, because, there's a tag there. There's a tag in every single room for, like, do not disturb, no service, whatever. When we see that, we don't come in unless there's, like, because it was a 3-story room. So if there's, like, a room up above that's leaking, we obviously have to get into that room to find it.
Oh, yeah, that's like it's a big deal.
Yeah, so it gets down to the point, like, we'll just get the building manager or whatever, open the door, and, like, we'll move you guys and do what we gotta do. But other than that, we're not gonna disturb anybody. And, yeah dude, these people, they don't use them. They don't care about them. And, the international people.
Oh, God.
I mean, I guess this is, like, the American in me, but, like, they definitely don't care about, like, anything. Like, anything.
Oh, my God.
Like, they'll answer the door with, like, barely anything on, and you just gotta, like, look away, like, I can come back another time. That's cool.
No, you're
fine. Yeah, it's weird, dude. The Europeans, too. But they're cool. They're all good
They're good people because a lot of them listen to the show.
Exactly.
and that's actually true. Eloise, who's a Patreon to the show, from the UK, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So I am going to admit something here. I was the overnight guy, right? And I was the only person in the entire building. Like, they would close at 10 o'clock and everybody would leave, but I stayed into the little pet hotel section because somebody has to be on the clock 24/7 in case something happens to a dog.
What could happen? Were they, like, all congregated into one area, or were they all separated?
The quick little layout of the pet hotel is there is aisles of these big cages, and they were like decently sized. Like, it's a good place to put your pet for however long. And when I say however long, I'm not kidding, because there was some dogs that were there for over a month. And
oh, that's terrible.
yeah, well, we would give the dog, like, because people would have to, like, pay for, like, what was it called, like daycare or whatever, like to let your dog run around and play. We would do it for free for a lot of those dogs that were staying long, because we're not assholes. So so the dogs that would stay really long, even if the owner of the dog didn't pay for, like, special play times, we would still do it.
That's crazy that you even need to charge for playtime for your dog.
Well, because it's taking an associate away from doing something. And it's like, if you had to do that for like 70 plus dogs, it'd be impossible for you to have enough staff on hand. You would have to really hire a lot.
I guess.
So I don't know, but we would feel bad for the dogs that were there for a long time. But in this particular story, and this is one thing that I'll say, as the overnight guy, I had to go through, like, this stuff, but I wasn't allowed to open up a cage unless it was, like, life or death for the dog. The reason why is because if I open a cage and a dog just attacks me, because I just open up the cage to a dog that's questionable, which is stupid, and if it attacked me, no one is around, and, it's a liability. So I get it, but I didn't listen. I mean, come on, man.
You can go against your better judgment and no.
Come on. Well, and the dog is, like, super happy to see me. You are awesome. I'm going to come pet you.
Yeah.
So I broke the rule. What are you going to do? Fire me? I quit. Fire him. Like, okay. What I'm admitting this morning is what I'm admitting is I started a false rumor that there is a ghost in the pet hotel, and it caught on like wildfire. So what happened was, it was like 2 a.m, and I, like, every like hour, get up and like down the aisles, kind of look at the dogs and stuff. And I thought it would be a funny idea to take a picture and edit in a really, really realistic looking silhouette of a ghost. and I found a phone app, and I did it that night. That's how I did it, guys. That's how I did it. That's how I fooled. And it looked real, and it looked really creepy. It was like you couldn't even tell that you could tell it was like slightly humanoid, and it looked like it was holding a lantern, but it looked real, dude. I kid you not. It looked real. And that morning I got off at 6 a.m., right? And that morning, the manager came in, and I was like, okay, play the part. Oh my God. Oh, you're not going to do this. I've been shaking, like freaking out, like it's my acting skills. Universal, hire me. And, I was playing this part of being like terrified, and I was even like kind of faking my hand. I'm like, look at this picture. Look at it. And my manager looked at it and was like, oh my God. And I'm like, do you see that? Do you see like, and she's like, yeah, what is that? And I was like, I was walking up and down the aisles, and I looked down the hallway, and the picture, I'm going to have to find it and post it on Facebook for y'all to see, or post it because it looks creepy.
I need to see this for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I was walking up and down the aisles, and I saw this weird silhouette next to next to the brooms or something, and I was looking at it, and I saw part of it move, and she was like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah. So I pulled out my phone, and I took a picture of it because I had my phone with me already, and I looked at the picture, and it was in the picture, and then I looked, gone. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, and I was like having to work that night. Like, I'm obviously going to come back like quitting or anything, but this was really creepy, and it's been weirding me out all night. And then I left, and I let the managers talk and the employees talk. And I was there for 2 years, and I started this up kind of quick because I get bored. And I had everybody there. Like, dude, there was one manager that like I got in that night, or not that night, it was months. And I got in that night, and she grabbed my arm. She's like, I saw it.
Geez.
I saw it. And I'm like, no way. She's like, I saw it. I saw the lantern. And I'm just like, whoa. No, you didn't. But it was like, she probably thought she did.
Yeah, man, the mind can play tricks on people like that.
Yes. And I will say, when you're in the back, like that back hallway, and you guys obviously looks like, but that back hallway, it's creepy because it's quiet. We don't really book a lot of dogs back there unless we get really, really, really full. I like how I'm saying we, like I still work. But that place, there's not a whole lot of dogs there, and it's really quiet, and that's where I took the picture. So it's already like as far away from the front desk as you can get. So it's secluded, and it's really quiet, and it's eerie. And people were like not wanting to go in that back hallway.
So basically, all the dogs stored back there did not get taken care of that well.
No. It's you're making me look like an asshole. No, you're probably right. Like, it's my fault.
I didn't get to feed Fluffy today. I was scared of the ghost.
And I'm just like, phone app. Like that's what it was. So it was a free app too, but I did that, and it was great. It was awesome. So I am admitting it 10 years later that I started the ghost.
One of those listeners like, that dick, I didn't sleep that night.
It's actually kind of funny because I think one person that I worked with is going to end up listening. So sorry. So that being said, for what?
That is so awesome.
Yeah, is lovely. It's lovely. So, what do you got, Josh? Let's hear you, my friend.
So actually, one of my stories that has just come across my mind, this actually does come from Bass Pro Shops, and this was not the reason I got fired and was only there 2 months.
Oh, sure.
But,
That's so funny. I'm gonna be giving you so much shit.
We had I worked in the warehouse, so we had these pallet jack drivers, and for those of you who don't know what those are, basically these giant machines. If you know what a pallet jack is, it's basically one of the things to lift them up, but it's something you can ride on. And we usually had like a whole giant pallet jack board that basically made it a giant platform for us to go and grab things off the high shelves and bring them down and whatnot. So I'm going through the aisles, you know, doing my thing. I didn't happen to like yell out, hey, backing up, or like, you know, my normal thing. And so unfortunately, as I'm like, I was also pretty fairly new still. Mind you, I was only there 2 months, and they didn't let me do anything on those things for like the first week or two. So I kind of went backwards a little too fast. A little faster than I myself anticipated. And so I didn't have the thought process to say, hey, backing up. But this woman comes around the corner just barely I barely missed her, dude. And when I tell you, dude, my tank was tight. I was so scared. And dude, I hopped off that machine and I was like, oh my god, are you okay? I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, dude, that just thinking about that, like,
yeah.
So,
and dude, honestly, like, it probably may have led to the reason why, like, I was kind of fired, maybe.
So you weren't lying. It is.
Because, all right, I have like a deathly fear of heights. I just don't like it. And like, if I'm even on like a 6-foot ladder, I'm kind of freaked out. So, yeah, like I don't like being up where my feet are on the ground, basically. So going up on this pallet jack, we would have to go like really, really high up, like maybe 5 or 6 bays, which is probably a good 4 feet per bay. So,
oh wow,
I'm up there, and you know we got harnesses on and stuff, but like it's not comfortable for me. And what I'm having to do is when I raise the platform up. And for I don't know whatever reason why, we had all these grills in the boxes at the very top. I don't know why we don't have them at the bottom. I don't know, whatever. But they had them all at the top.
They want you to fall.
And so I'm going up on this thing, and like it shakes. The higher you go, the more the faintest movement like really shakes you, and like you're trying to lug this like 100, 200 pound grill up onto the platform, and it's freaky, man. It's some freaky stuff. I wasn't a fan of it, and
I've had to use those scissor lifts before, and they are not fun in my plumbing career, and those things are scary too, man. You get up there really high and you start moving because you got to walk on them, and whoo, so
I'm not a big fan of that, but I will say the one bit of fun that I did have, who knows, maybe they had it on camera and again led to my firing, but we were running around the warehouse chasing each other, basically spraying the shit out of each other with a can of deer attractant. Which, let me tell you, doesn't smell that great.
No.
Doesn't attract the normal human.
Deer showed up. Like, oh no. Like a dozen of deer just like bursting into Bass Pro.
Yeah, no, it was great. And
oh my god.
I thought it was funny. Like, you know, I wasn't the one that started any of this or anything like that.
Sure.
So, just to clear the air, I wasn't like a total craphead over there.
It's like, yeah, you get on this podcast and just admit to everybody how shitty of an employee you were. I didn't do nothing right.
No, man. I did a lot of work for them regardless, though. I just didn't like them that much.
Oh, sure. That's awesome. So I've got a pretty funny story about my days at PetSmart. Well, there was a bulldog, and it was an old English bulldog. It had like a droopy eyes and just looked terrible. And then it had the family that had, they had another English bulldog who also looked terrible and droopy-eyed. Well, one was a male and one was a female. They were in the same house, so they had the same cage. That's how it worked there. So if you brought in 5 dogs, then they get 2 cages that are attached together, so they're double the cage, but all dogs get to stay in together. Yeah, which is funny because there's a little quick side note here, is there was one family that got 5 pug puppies, and they boarded them for like 4 days, and I remember laying on the ground and all the puppies were like, oh, puppies.
Yeah, dude, that's the best right there.
totally got to do that. They're like nibbling on my, oh, so great. So I did get to do that. But this story, I don't know what it was about this male English bulldog. I can't remember his name. I think the female's name was Gracie, but I could be wrong. But anytime you made eye contact with this guy, this bulldog, he would start humping Gracie every time. So us employees, you'd like stand to where he couldn't see you, and you'd slowly peek your head like into the cage, and he like put his paw on her back, and then you'd like, and then you'd like appear more, and then he'd like, no, and he just.
That's so funny, dude. My one dog's like that. He's always trying to hump the other one. It's ridiculous.
It's a dominance thing, is what it is.
I had him fixed. He's got nothing to dominate.
No. Most of them don't, but they do that. But dude, it was like you would just like slowly look, and he'd like, and like he would even be laying on the, and you'd like go and look, and he'd get up and like walk over to her. Like, he just straight up.
He's wanting to destroy his stuff, man.
I don't know. It just cracked us up. So we would always do that. But yeah. So that's it. That's another good one for the books here. What do you got, Josh?
Well, we'll say a story from Toys R Us that I have. I will say I love that job, dude. I busted ass there, like hardcore. I'd be there from like 4 a.m. and this is like before I had a car and stuff. So like I was just riding my bicycle there.
Yeah.
I'd work 4 a.m. Start working on unloading all the trucks, and so this is like one of the big Toys R Us. This was actually like almost the biggest one, the one in Orlando. The few times, because I only really dealt with like one full Christmas season. I think about halfway into the second one, I ended up leaving. And well, I mean, I gave him my 2 weeks notice because I ended up getting the position over for Disney, the Rat.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool because like after we would finish unloading the truck, we would go put everything out, put everything in where it needs to be before the store opened, and then basically we just like kind of, I don't know how the best way to like put this, we kind of just like monitored all the shelves. Like we would just walk around, and because I mean, dude, these kids, they were going crazy. They were everywhere. These parents aren't watching them. They're throwing toys around. They're misplacing everything. A kid runs off, grabs a toy. His parents tell him, no, you can't have it. And he just like tosses it or something. You know, it's literally a madhouse. And so that's what we did. And honestly, though, like it was so much fun. So much fun. And I think what made it even better is literally everybody there that we worked with was in some way like family. Like nobody had any beef with anybody. There was no issues.
Oh wow!
Like everybody was really cool, and across all shifts too. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah, no kidding. Usually there's always some type of weird drama that happens.
And
in employees.
Nah, in this place it was like a giant family. So like it wasn't so much work, and I think that's probably why, like, that's still probably the place I put more work into than HVAC even.
Yeah, sure.
Because like, dude, I would work to the bone. Like I worked easily, like I think it was 93 or 96 hours in a week. I think that was the most that I had ever worked. That was during the seasonal time. Because I was young, I wasn't in school or anything, so I was just trying to make money, and what else am I going to do? Let me go to work.
Right. Yeah, you might as well.
I do what I could, dude. Hefty check. I loved it. I was like, oh my God. I mean, it wasn't amazing, seeing as I like just barely made. No, actually, I didn't even make $8. I made like $7.25.
$7.25. That's minimum.
So I mean, I was busting it to the bone, but really for nothing. But it was, for me, it was still great.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Especially when like young like that, and you can really appreciate that.
Go out and have fun, do whatever.
Yes. I've got a little one here. This is like, I was thinking about this, and there were a few times, usually around the holidays, where when I worked at PetSmart, that pet hotel, we would be at full capacity, which is like 250 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it where you can still hear yourself, or is like every dog barking?
No, it's so since I was overnight, I was lucky in the sense that at like 1 or 2 in the morning, it was silent, because all the dogs sleep usually overnight like humans do. So, but there was this one jackass dog that was just yip, and then he would get all the other dogs to do it. Like it was kind of similar to, like, I guess, a prison, where like if somebody like got out of their cage, like they'd all be like whoa, and just like barking like crazy.
One little dog talking crap, all the other ones like yeah, just wait till playtime.
Yeah, no kidding. I had a really bad headache, and I don't get headaches very, like, I just really don't. I've been lucky, but I remember I had a really bad headache, and 250 dogs barking at like 10:30 at night, and I just started my shift an hour and a half ago, and these dogs, man, they're just going. I didn't have headphones because I was an idiot. I didn't have them. I had some at my house, but God, dude, it was so loud, and I lost my temper. I screamed, "Shut up!"
I took Fluffy by the collar and threw him against his cage.
Oh my God, this just in. PetSmart admitted. No, it was just verbal abuse, guys. I just screamed, "Shut up!" And it worked. They all got quiet, and I just kind of like, all right.
What that tells me is every single one of their owners do the exact same thing.
Well, I turned around to go back to my little area, because I will say one thing. That job was really cool. Like, I could bring my Xbox to work. I could bring my laptop to work. And when I did when I did my list of cleaning and getting prepped for the next day, I could just chill for hours.
That's really cool.
And do whatever. Because I just had to be on the clock, and the managers would be like, "What movie did you bring?" They didn't care. They all knew.
Yeah.
But anyways, I screamed, "Shut up." All the dogs got quiet. I was like, thank God. I turned around, and like, just like a movie, I hear, yip, 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 and then they're all, because that one dog, like, no. So that whole night, dude, they were just, that one dog just kept yipping, and then they'd all just nuts. It was like, it was so loud.
Should have just taken that dog out to play.
Yeah, like 3 a.m. You're gonna go outside the building.
Yeah.
Like, set the alarm off and like let the dog manager, like, what happened? Somebody stole the dog. And then they look at the cameras, and I'm just like, yeah, there you go. Terrible. Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. So I know you got another one for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got like this like whole prank story. Yeah, I got a few actually. This one is coming from the rat. But so we one day we were working. It was really hot, and there was like a big event going on, and this event in particular was making things very hectic for all of us. We were being thrown everywhere, against every which way, and what they had us do during these times is pair up, because, you know, two heads is better than one. Why not?
True.
And,
True. Unless you're both idiots.
Yeah. Well, so the problem with it, they gave me quite possibly the most worthless person that they could have given me. And, you know, I say this with a kind heart, and he would humbly accept knowing that he was one of...
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
He knew it, but he was like, but you know what? I can play the game, so whatever. And he would laugh about it, this, that. Dude, it used to get under my skin, but I was just like, whatever. He was good people, like, outside of his work ethic. He was good people.
Sure. Oh, I know people like that.
And so we had vans, like full-on vans with all our stuff to get around and go where we need to.
Work vans.
So, like I said, it was hot. He was not wanting to help me. He let me go to like 3 of the jobs already on my own. He's like, I'm just going to sit here in the car. I'm like, whatever, dude. Finally, I decided, and like, mind you, he's a really, he's a much larger fellow. I had parked the van to where his side of the door was like right up against a building. He was not going to get out of there. No way in hell. And so I was like, all right, man, you're going to go with me to this one, right? He's like, no, plus you parked this car here, so I can't do that. And I was like, all right, that's fine. So I take the keys out of the van so he can't have the AC, and I shut the door and lock the van, and I start walking towards the job, and I can hear him screaming.
Wait, he couldn't open the driver's door?
Dude, I'm telling you, he was a much bigger person.
Oh, so he couldn't...
It was hard for him to get over. So he's just going nuts. And I'm not saying it was impossible for him, okay? I didn't like trap him. This wasn't totally inhumane. He just needed to work to get out.
You'll kill him just like you killed that lady at Bass Pro Shop.
And so I left. I went to the job. I was getting pissed off, and that was my way to...
I don't blame you at all.
Not so aggressively let it go.
Yeah. Yes,
and I left. I come back maybe 15, 20 minutes later. Gone.
Oh.
No idea where he's at.
Whoa.
And I was looking around, and I was like, all right, the closest break room is here. So I'm going to go there because he's not the person to go very far.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's sitting there in the break room eating chips, drinking water, watching TV. And he's like, I walk in, he sees me, he's like, man, what is your problem? Why did you leave me? I could have died out there. It was so hot. This, that, and the other. He's going nuts.
You
and
got
I was
out.
like, but did you die? I was like, but did you die?
Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine. And I was like, that's what you get. I was like, you could be helping me and doing what you come here to do, but instead you're going to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Something's got to give here.
Yeah, I made him go to the next 2 jobs on his own. I didn't help him.
Yeah, I would have too.
Yeah, but I mean, we definitely too. We played a lot of really good pranks at many different places there, because we had another one that we were going back and forth quite a bit with me and one other fellow. Won't mention names. He may still work there.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
But yeah, so we started out really simple. We started with like the dielectric grease behind your little lock pad.
Oh yeah.
Like just something stupid to just kind of be like, man.
Yeah. And it turned into I killed your wife.
Of course. No, of course to that.
Isn't that
normal? But of course we had to escalate each time we were going back and forth.
Oh my god.
So I don't remember every single one, but the few that, like, after the dielectric grease, we got a hold of the tool bag and we filled it with coffee beans. So basically, like,
where'd you get all the coffee beans?
Well, because it was like a hotel area, so
oh yeah, okay.
I just kind of took it out of a closet.
Yeah.
And
stealing from the company.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's allegedly.
And so basically, we were filling it up and like to the brim, full. So that was funny. So I thought until like one of the next times that he goes and gets me, he fills it with my bag with silicone.
No.
So like it was ridiculous for me to pull everything out. I mean, he potentially could have, but like I sat there and like really worked on them to get them back to working condition. But dude, I was pissed.
The whole time you're like, what have we become?
Oh, dude, I was so mad. So like, I couldn't think of anything too quickly, but I knew he was out on a job and I was still there dealing with my tools. So like,
yeah,
I took a bunch of like painter's tape, and
oh yeah,
so I took like a whole roll, and I started wrapping up his padlock to his locker. And then I got like a quarter way through the tape and I was like, he's gonna think he can cut through this. Yeah. So I went and grabbed a bunch of wire and I started wrapping it around there, and then I started putting more and more and more electrical tape or painter's tape, and then I put electrical tape. And so like I had the lock was like this huge ball of tape and wire. And dude, he was there. I think he called me like 20 minutes after I had already left, saying he just finished opening his padlock. Holy crap. He was so mad. So
how did y'all end it? How bad did it get? Or was that one of the last ones?
So it basically ended up ending when I had attached a urinal to his locker and put a little chocolate bar that was a little nutty inside with lemon. Yeah, with lemonade or the yellow Gatorade, whatever. And that's where it ended, real quick. But oh man, it was really funny because like, dude, the manager laughed. He thought that this was like one of the greatest things he'd ever seen. He's like, oh nice. He's like, it's also one of the greatest waste of company time, company uses of material and everything else.
Morale, come on.
Well, I did tell him, I was like, well, to be fair, I did this on my lunch break. And he's like, you still drilled holes through the locker. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, but it was on my lunch break. Come on.
Yeah, there was no good way around it, but yeah, no, things got like way out of hand, dude.
That's a good one. That's a good one, dude. I'm never gonna get in a prank war. That's funny.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely learned my lesson. Like after that, I kind of like stopped. There was just no more after that for me. Like I would keep them very minimal and not try and keep retaliating after that.
Right. All right. Well, our stories have really been just kind of taken, but I've got one final one that made the cut here. God, guys, though, there's so many. There's so many. So we're gonna definitely be putting some of these in for noteworthies because there's too many to do in one episode. But I will finish our story segment with the epic tale of pretty much my first week of plumbing, really. I mean, I didn't know anything, and I was the apprentice, so I was working with my friend. He's a friend, and his name is Joe, and he was my journeyman plumber, and he was kind of showing me the ropes. We went to a job, and we had never turned the water onto this house, really big, like 5 or 6 bathroom house. We had never turned the water onto it, and the house was move-in ready, except for the plumbing fixtures. So we were going to turn the water on to make sure that the guys that screw the drywall, that sometimes happens. So basically, we didn't have any phone service at this house. So our system was, he was going to go by the street and turn the water on, and I was going to go into the house and make sure everything was okay and anything like that. So I went into the house. The sign where if there was a problem, you would go to the living room, and the living room had these massive, huge glass plate windows. So if I'm standing in the living room, you can see like my entire body from the street. And I was going to go over there and bang on the window, and then I'd be like, there's something wrong. You know what I mean? So I went inside, he turned the water on, and I'm walking around, and I can hear water going through the system, but spraying, everything is good. We did a good job. Everything looked fine. But then I just thought, I'm going to do something. And I ran to that window, and I looked out, and Joe was looking down. I'm guessing he was like looking at the meter, and I bang, 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 bang. And Joe looked up and saw my ass. I don't know why I did do it.
Oh man.
And I will say, that is the one and only time I have ever mooned anyone in my life. And I don't know why I thought to. It just seemed like such a great opportunity. And I've got no regrets. No regrets.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I've only mooned people twice, but like
only twice.
I can't
I like
believe
how that's a thing. I like how that's a thing.
I can't believe we managed 2 brown eye stories here.
Dude, it's funny because I had this, and when you told me that, which I didn't even know about that one. Like, we hadn't even that story at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of these stories, we leave out the funny part so we can actually have genuine reactions to it. And that was, I was like, oh, I got a butt one too. This is great.
We love butt jokes, so if you guys got butt jokes, maybe send us one.
Butt joke. So yeah, we got a lot of stories. We're definitely gonna have to do more, but there are things about jobs that I do want to discuss. And the first thing is like a shout out to the people that do this job, because I work in the construction industry, and I gotta say, I respect this job a lot. And that job would be the guys that clean potties. Like,
yeah,
those things get bad.
I don't even like stepping in them, to be honest with you. So, like, let alone to clean them.
Yeah, and I have seen these guys are like, you know when they're there, you know when they're working. If anybody's eating right now, like, hold on real quick. They basically like vacuum everything out of it into a massive cylindrical tank. So that's how they clean those things. They vacuum all of it out. And the smell that comes off of that action is horrible. And dude, you can smell it like anywhere on the job. You can smell it. Like, you're like, oh, they're cleaning the porta potty. It's rank. It is so bad. And,
That's terrible.
I've seen those guys eating lunch while pumping those things out. I saw one guy eating an apple while he was at the control levers for the pump. And a different instance, I saw a guy eating I'm like, how? It's so bad. So,
I mean, so I never met this guy, but there was somebody that they called Captain Pooh that used to work with them, and he literally had like a tattoo of a turd with a cape, and it said Captain Pooh on it.
Like,
so they showed me the tattoo. They had a picture of the tattoo, but I never actually had worked with this guy. But apparently, like, he was a plumber, and he would go to jobs, he would do his jobs, and he would do them well, dude. He would, like, bare hands reach in and do whatever he needed to do.
Oh.
But, yo, he would eat his food, not washing his hands properly, and it grossed everybody out, because, like, they would always just see him, like, rinse his hands with water, like, shoo them off, pad dry a little bit, and then eat a sandwich, and they're all just, like, his hands are clearly dirty still. Oh, my God, why is he doing that?
His immunity system is probably better than...
It's gotta be.
God. And, I mean, I've seen, like, one trade that I've seen do some sketchy shit are roofers. Man... I've seen roofers not tied off, no harness, up on a 3-story apartment building on a windy day carrying sheets of plywood.
Dude, I was watching a video. There was a hurricane or some. It looked like a hurricane, or it was just a really, really bad storm. But these guys were up on the roof, and like when it came by, they just held on to like whatever they could. One guy like fell through. I don't know what happened to him, but like the other two, they just were hanging on to the top that wasn't like fully roofed yet. And I was like, what? These guys are crazy. Like, get down, go away.
Oh, God.
Like, you're not saving yourself anytime if you get blown over to the next city.
So when I saw those roofers up on the third floor of the apartment holding sheets of plywood, walking like near the edge, and it's windy, I'm like, dude, if a gust of wind, if you can't, like, I can't even talk about it right, because you die. Like, it was like at least a 70-foot drop, because the roofs on this apartment building were very tall, and I'm like, man, like, you just don't even care. Like, no way. So
yeah, no, I don't think I'd be able to. I definitely wouldn't be able to. I mean, I can go on my roof, like when I'm hanging up Christmas lights, no problem.
Yeah, right,
but, like, or cleaning, but I'm not like willingly really wanting to go up there and like do something. No,
definitely.
Just doing what I have to do.
Dude, being a roofer is a job that just not for me. Would suck. Like yeah. It also kind of makes like a job that, like Spider-Man, like the people that have all the web off from all the shit he does. I know it's fictional, but it's just like
hey man, when you're switching to the eraser brush on the CGI, it probably takes some time.
I just imagine like a guy like, oh crap, Spider-Man is out fighting crime again. But then you could be like, oh, he's creating jobs. So I guess there's that. He's destroying shit on one end, but then get paychecks on.
Thanks, Spider-Man.
Thanks, Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm doing this for you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, other jobs, like, because like I was thinking like for the show, like jobs that would just suck. And I mean, this is kind of like rated M, but I mean, a janitor or like an adult theater. Oh, no.
That's sticky. Everybody must really like this movie.
No, this is a great movie. They made a mess. Like, it's not.
I've never actually been to one. I don't really know that they even still exist.
I don't either, but I was like,
I don't know of any that are even by me, which I feel like if there was one, I would definitely know of it.
Because you'd be the patron.
Yeah, dude.
No.
Probably. I mean, like I said, I've never been. I'll try anything once.
Like, and this is just my personal like opinion of a job that would suck. A lot of people are totally opposite on me, but I mean, being in space, like being an astronaut, no, thank you. I mean, whoo, man.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree because even though you would have like an amazing, like out of this world view, literally, it's just I've seen like these clips of like shows and stuff where, you know, they don't latch on or something and then they just drift off, and like, dude, that's a scary death right there. Like, you're literally drifting off and watching everything you've ever known just like slowly dissipate from you before you like end up fully dying. Like that's some scary stuff.
Whenever like Sandra Bullock's character is like flipping, she's just flipping in space forever.
Yeah, no, I don't know
There's
what it was.
There's no way to straighten yourself, man. Like, you're flipping until you die. Like,
yeah. I don't know what it was I saw. I think, and I want to say it was an animation. Somebody like broke their arm. Like what they did was they ripped off like the mitt of their spacesuit so their arm would freeze. They broke their arm off, and then what they tried to do was throw it away from where they were trying to go to kind of like give them some like bit of force to get them back to where they needed to go. And I was like, that is a last resort. That is some dude. And from then on, I was just like, yeah, I would never go there. Forget that.
What'd you do at work today?
Yeah.
Threw my arm.
Yeah. Dude, that was like one of the most mind-blowing
Yeah,
scenes. I was just
yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, space. No, I'm good. I'm good. And then like,
Totally agree.
and then here's like a legit question: is who scrapes the gum off the underside of tape? Who does that? Is it the wait staff or like the bus boys or? Does anybody know the answer to that?
Well, actually, so at the one hotel that I worked at that had a restaurant inside, all the people that did like the under table cleaning were the people that came in like overnight and did like the entire cleaning, like the carpet and everything. They're the ones that got down with the real nitty gritty stuff, like scraping
yeah, but
stuff
I mean, what
off.
about like your 20 tables and it's like a mom and pop run?
Probably the waiters or the cleaners.
Or they put flyers out. Did you put gum under our tables? If so, come clean it up.
We'll give you a free paint putty to scrape it off.
Yeah. So that's just a question about jobs that I was curious about. Like, who does it?
I would be super intrigued to know of any snake milkers.
Yeah, so what is that? By snake milk, you mean like people testing?
They're the ones that are like making the snakes bite the jars with like the little balloon tied over it so that they can extract their venom and stuff. So I don't think it's like actual milk. I don't know why they call it that, other than like that's probably the closest process to, or the closest name to the process.
So why do
similar
they do
to
that?
Usually to
Make
like
antidotes?
study, yeah, to make medicines. If I'm not mistaken, some of them are used in beauty products because they won't be lethally poisonous at certain dosages, but they will. What they do is like kind of swell up. So basically, like those like lip plumpers.
Oh yeah. Okay, see.
So like you never know.
We are learning, guys. Like we are mindless, but I mean,
we know some really dumb stuff.
But you still have to be like, if I'm not mistaken, like everything we're saying is still like, maybe.
There's things I can do on a daily basis, and I would still question if it's the right way.
Yes. Well, snake milking. That is a good one. That is a good one. And speaking of like snakes and animals, I guess I feel like a zookeeper would be like a love-hate, depending on what you did, I guess. Because like I can imagine that's some nasty dumps you gotta clean.
Dude, I see the dumps that like horses take during parades and stuff, and those are big.
Yeah, but like elephant, I mean, come. Woo.
Yeah, no, dude. So you can actually, I think the biggest pile of dung I have ever seen was a bison. I was visiting Montana, and dude, like I took a picture, like a real nice picture with my real nice camera because I was so impressed at the sheer size of this like poo pancake that this being has placed on the earth.
But then you gotta like show to some. Check out what I did, man.
Like dude, if I had like one of those like those rubberized like suits that fishermen wear to get those like knee-high, water-high things, whatever, dude, I would have jumped in that pile of turd just to show how big it was. I could have. It was huge.
We have to make a list of all this extracurricular stuff that we plan to do. Sever off the steel-toed boots, jump in giant piles of poop for research, and I guess playing.
Well, no, it wasn't for research. That was just purely to like show the size because like the picture, it did not.
I can't believe that. That's
the
incredible.
picture I took didn't do it justice, but like
we are gonna have to try to find like certain pictures to post on social media about like something. I don't know, just to be like.
I'm pretty sure I know where I can find that file on my computer to where that picture is. So I will see if I can find it.
Well, or just like, I don't know, like you're in this area with essentially the most rare beast of nature that you get to be around. And then like like if you look over, you see like, I don't know, bickering at each other and their kid like crying about something. You're just like, man, this is like such a cool moment over here.
No, man, that's
like,
human nature. Everybody takes everything for granted.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be human nature, but unfortunately, it's been one of those developed things nowadays. Thank you, 2020.
Let's go back to the tribal days where no, I don't. Never mind. Never mind.
Could you imagine being a lab rat?
That is out there, and
I'm not saying like you be an actual rat, but like.
Oh, sorry.
Not like morphing into an animal. I'm saying like, you know, those people they test things on.
Totally showing off my mindlessness here. Well, like, how am I gonna do? You like got some kind of thing to transform me into a rat?
No.
Now
like,
I'm thinking too
they
literal.
just test like medications and stuff on you. I'd be scared.
Well, I mean, yeah, the people that are doing the COVID vaccine, I mean,
yeah,
they're like,
kudos to them. I mean,
yeah, let's
thanks,
do it.
But
like,
not for me. Like, I don't want to like take something and then all of a sudden like my toes explode or something. Cause you don't know. You don't know what you're taking. They don't know what you're taking. They're trying to find out what you're taking.
Yeah. Hey, let's see what happens. It'd be kind of funny if you do that to somebody and they're like, Skittle, and they're all laughing. Okay, all right, we'll give you the real thing that's actually scary. Oh crap! It's funnier when it was just a Skittle.
One of these may be an M&M, maybe medication, and it may be a Skittle. Which one will you choose? I want all three.
Oh, you're making this a game?
2 out of 3 sound pretty good. I'm just gonna take them all and hope everything comes out good.
Let's see what happens. Oh my god! So, and there's like a lot of different things that people have to test out. Like,
yeah, man.
You know,
an odor judge.
That sounds not as dangerous.
It could be potentially. I mean, I
guess fumes.
Yeah,
like
so
fumes.
I mean, basically, these people, they're the ones that, you know, somebody's got to test how fresh that breath is. That toothpaste is going to make that breath. Somebody's got to test how.
What a funny visual! Like, okay, ready? Oh God, no! If I had that job, I'd probably be like smart ass and like pretend to fall down.
Oh,
and
dude,
faint.
I definitely would. I would have to have fun with such a terrible job. I mean, I think it's terrible as an outside perspective. I don't know. Maybe you guys really like smelling people. That's cool.
There's an odor judge listening right now. This is bullshit. I love my job.
I love smelling feet 24/7 a day.
I just like imagine they'd be like, okay, Nick.
Like if somebody made a really good deodorant, then you are smelling some good pits. I guess that's good.
I guess that's true. And it's like you tell people what you do, and like, I'm an odor judge.
But
it sounds kind of.
I don't know though. Like,
do you wear a robe?
Well, I want to know is like, do you go to school for that kind of thing? Because I kind of feel like everybody agrees that shit smells like shit and good things smell good.
That's a good question.
Like, what qualifies us as a professional smeller?
I laughed, and then I'm like, hold on, yeah. Like, how do you get into that? Like a cosmetology degree, and you go to a beauty thing, and then they're like, we need you to smell this. Like, well, shit. I mean, I guess I will.
You have to guess 500 things without error while blindfolded. What is the smell of this?
Oh my god, that's interesting.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I'm gonna have to look into this.
And speaking of jobs that would kind of probably suck, there is actually a highway that goes like I drive on this highway all the time. And if any of you are familiar with it, like people that are listening that are local, Capital of Texas Highway. And every season, like Christmas season, people go out and they buy a bunch of Christmas decorations and they decorate the trees on this highway. That's
really cool, though.
It is cool and it looks amazing. But I don't know who cleans all that shit up when the holiday's over.
The people that put it up.
I mean, really? Out of the 100,
dude, these people are like being nice enough to even like care to show like some Christmas spirit to the community. They don't have to do that.
I know.
Those are clearly some nice people. I wouldn't spend my time doing that. I'm just letting you know that now.
I know, but I'm trying to play like devil's advocate. Okay, you get 100 people that are doing it, and one family's like, not this year. I'm not cleaning this shit up. I'm not doing it. Or like, what if something happened? Or like something tragic happened?
They have like a whole underground committee that like you don't know about. They conversate. Yo, Becky's gonna be out this season. It's okay. Don't worry. We got Susie this year. She's helping.
I'm gonna infiltrate their ranks and be like, all right, what's. Or it's like some guy from the city that comes in and he's like, God dang it, every year. Bro, it's like the same dude. Like, hey, you're doing trees again. Yeah, of course. Like,
I wanted light posts, but they said I couldn't.
Yeah, decorating. So yeah, those are just some jobs that I think. Or I mean, but I always go back to the zoo job. There'd be so many moments that would be cool, like being in like a zoo. I would like that.
I think just about any job you can make some type of positive outcome out of it. Like I really highly doubt anybody's had a job that like 100% they hate.
Oh, that's such a good question for people. Like try to think of a job that you can't see anybody liking. I would say funeral.
Well, no, not just that, but like I'm saying, like they didn't have at least one good memory working there. Like out of the 2 months out of the crappy job at Bass Pro Shops, I had quite a few good memories. So like I'm sure.
That's true. That's
like,
true.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Oh, you know what? Nope. My wife worked at Applebee's for a week because it was horrible. Not a single good memory comes out of that place. Guaranteed. Haha, you're wrong.
What?
You're wrong.
I don't know, man. We're going to have to bring her in for questioning.
No, we will get her. Hold on. No. She'd be like, no, what are you doing?
Not a single good tip. No good compliments that made her day or nothing. Just
no, dude. It was not good. She was only there for a week. That's how bad it was.
Wow. All right.
It's like that. The equivalent of like you. Like, okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, I'll say. Then I will correct myself that it is probably a super rare occurrence.
Yes. I made Josh correct himself.
You don't have one good memory out of a job.
True. So, my dream job, and I'm going to just kind of skew into this, is really, it's kind of becoming doing shit like this. I mean, this is great. And obviously, Guildmaster, working on that. And those of you that don't know Guildmaster, a video game that me and John with others.
Yeah.
So we're developing a video game. So that's my dream job. Making that, building off of that, and then having this podcast as well. This is really cool.
Yeah,
really
it will be. I will say I was kind of hesitant at first doing it because, it was something I was going to have to step out of my comfort zone for.
Do it!
But I don't know if it's just the amount of work I've been doing, the research and stuff, but it's made it to where this is pretty fun. This is definitely something I look forward to every week to do, and that's kind of why we're gonna be pushing to do more.
Yes. So, I thought since marijuana is becoming a bit more legal in states here and there, a cool job would be to make like a pizza place in like a weed dispensary and call it the pizza
that was
joint.
such a great idea. I like it. I like it. I mean, I would go. I know of a place that is similar to this though. Not as clever of a name as yours.
Yeah, I'm better.
But
like okay.
Yeah, up in New York, there is a place that has THC infused pies to get you high.
Whoa. Mindless moment here. New York? It's legal in New York?
Sure it's like one of those medical ones.
Yeah,
I don't really know like the laws. I don't keep up to tabs. Yeah, so like you would be able to go there if you have your medical card. Maybe. I don't really know how it works out. I never like myself been, but I've just heard of it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because I there was a time I watched this like whole show of I love cooking shows, and there was a whole cooking show of like real chefs making some ridiculously delicious looking things, but infusing weed with it.
Man, that's pretty sweet.
It was pretty crazy. But yeah, there is a place there.
I'm not that original, except for my
The name was good, though.
idea.
I like the name. It's better than theirs.
Yeah, well, the name doesn't mean shit anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Angry. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry, man.
No, dude, don't. No three on this one.
Okay. Well, so I had another idea for this would be, in my opinion, a really kick-ass business. So people love paintball, right? But the downside I see with paintball preparation and cost.
Dude, cost is ridiculous.
Right? Okay. I hooked you. All right. Okay. So, what if there was a place? It's different than paintball, but there was a place. It sounds so stupid when I really think of it because, all right, I'm just gonna say what it is. You go to this place and it's basically a arena, and there's two sides. And instead of shooting paintballs, you wear padding and you throw rubber balls at each other.
Wait, we're not shooting these rubber balls, we're throwing them?
Yeah, dude, throwing them,
what kind
chucking
of rubber
them at
balls?
each other.
Because this just sounds like dodgeball at this point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but they're my rubber balls.
Oh yeah, there's that game dodgeball. That's right.
No, I'm talking about like a little bit smaller than a baseball, so you can
So you're really talking about pelting some fuckers with this?
Yeah, that's hence the padding. And there'd be some rules. There'd be obstacles and some rules. The rules are there's two lines and there's a no man's land and you can't go into the no man's ball. So you can't point blank peg somebody with it. So but that's what it'd be. It'd be so simple. And I've done a little bit of research, but I was saying what do you do? I own the rubber.
The RBA.
The RBA. Oh, the RBA league. Legit. That sounds legit. But it'd be cool. And I've done some research, and throwing rocks and stuff like that is a really good way to get out aggression. You know what I mean? It is a really good way to. But I guess if you got pelted in the face, you'd be pretty pissed off, and then you wouldn't want to. But you'd have a helmet. You'd have a visor.
I will say when we were, me and my buddy, when we were younger, in our neighborhood, we had these really big ditches. So we would take these rocks and fill socks with all these rocks, and then we would wind them up, and dude, we would just throw them over at each other, having these little sock rock wars.
Yes, dude. See, so we did the same thing, growing instead of cons at each other, and they hurt.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt, and then it's hilarious.
Yeah, but if you've got pads and you go to this, a 30-foot. There's a 30 or 40 foot no man's land in between the two sides, and then you can just throw these rubber balls at each other. It's not dodgeball because they're a lot smaller. You're wearing pad, and you could just it would be so cheap. Anyone could do it.
That's where you got me, because with paintball, the cost is the paint. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. And then it's skill based because you got to aim. You got to other sides. It's hard to dodge a paintball.
I do have a really funny paintball story, kind of.
Yeah, hey, we can wrap up with that.
This in there for y'all. So we were really close with one of the paintball field owners. He was really cool people. So we would go there, and sometimes we didn't have too much money for paint, but me and my buddy, we didn't care. We had marbles. Marbles work really well. They work out of the gun really well. They really hurt if you get hit, though.
You just got to up your padding, man. Then you're kind of onto something, really. If you can get pads.
Well, I mean, essentially,
really
depending on like where it hits, like if you end up hitting like an obstacle or something, more than likely the marble shattered. Like we never went and like picked up any marbles or anything like that.
Okay.
We would like one time shoot them and done. We probably never really looked at where they landed or anything like that, because it was like out in the wooded area, so we were also not worried about getting caught. Nobody would like slip on these things.
Oh yeah.
Now, mind you, we're not shooting anybody. We weren't shooting anybody else with these. This was purely just for our 1v1s. And yeah, dude, it was pretty brutal, but it was fun because what we would do is basically we were using Tipmans, so it was one shot, pull the trigger. Like you can't just sit there and like quickly pull trigger for double shots like you could, but we were trying not to. We were trying to use as little ammo, and it was one shot, you were done. That was game. And it was fun, but yeah, no, there was a few times it really hurts. Definitely really hurts. I thought like maybe I had like fractured or at least some bones.
That's really cool, and that's kind of like in the same realm of what I was thinking as far as not as much mess. I mean, unless you've got like shattered marble fragments all over the place. but I mean, yeah. So.
Yeah, like I said, I just think the worst part was the injuries if you got hit. So I it makes you a better player.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, well, I guess we are going to wrap up with that, you guys, because we have been going and going and going, and we could go a lot more, but we're going to save stuff for another episode because we are going to have a lot more job-related things that are going to come up. It's just going to happen. So, we do want to say thank you again. And Josh, what do you think about next week?
I would actually like you guys, the listeners, to chime in on this one because, you know, we're sitting here constantly telling you, we want your guys' input. Well, we're thinking we're going to do an entire outline topic based on what you guys want to hear. On feet.
No, wait. Whoa. The listeners are just like nonsense. Like, feet. Like, no, why? No. Like 30 of them.
Yeah, whatever. If we get 30 people wanting to hear about feet, I'm going to give you guys a podcast about feet, and you'll be sorry you asked for it.
We'll do. Like, wow, they made it 2.5 hours long? Holy shit.
But yeah, no, if for you listeners that want to like get a hold of us, if you guys aren't a part of our Discord, I will leave a link for that in this description. Also, yes. If you don't have Discord or don't want to get a part of Discord, that's fine. I understand. We also have an email. It's mindlessmorningshow@gmail.com. Yeah.
That's hard to remember.
I will leave the email in the description as well for you guys, just in case. And yeah, if you guys happen to just give us total crickets, then it's going to end up being a surprise. And we hope you'll like it.
Ooh. Well, we'll have to announce it at least a few days or so after we get crickets, because we might end up getting a listener story. Because I do want to be able to tell a story, you know what I mean? From the perspective
of we definitely
our
really like getting the listeners' perspectives. And I will say today's been my favorite episode for having Andrew Beers come on and give us his feedback. I think that is awesome. Yes, so if anybody else would like to possibly send us an audio clip of anything they would like to maybe ask us, like we don't have to repeat these questions for you guys. If you guys want to like send us a question and hear your voice on these shows, by all means send them. We'll make it happen.
It's our podcast, guys. Anything. I love you all so much.
Now you know it's ending. Let's just break down.
All right, you guys. Once again, always fun. Keep talking with us and getting us keep us moving, yes, so we can have fun and keep this going.
Much appreciated, and thank you for tuning in yet another week.
The Mindless Morning Show is awesome.